Thank you. Africa faces a lot of challenges in terms of agricultural transformation and growth. Some of them are policy-related challenges. Others are related to the challenges of climate. For example, in Eastern and Southern Africa at the moment, the El Nino effects are making it very difficult for production to be sustained. So there are so many challenges. The bottom line is that Africa is not producing enough at the moment to meet the consumption demands. The population growth is being very high over the last several years, and it is also projected to be high. So Africa has realized that unless production is accelerated, production of food, both plant, animal, fisheries, it will be in a very difficult situation. That's why in 2014, the African Union heads of state and government who met in Malabo, Equatorial Guinea, adopted the Malabo Declaration to end hunger and malnutrition by 2015, among other things, through at least doubling production. Okay, so it means if Africa has to double its production over the next now 9 years, it must meet all the challenges.
Now, what Africa needs so that he can fulfill also, it can be sufficient in agriculture, especially in rice, because we have just seen that there is a gap in production. They can get maybe the import of around 12 million.
It's good that you have raised the example of rice. And what Africa needs to do, number one, is to prioritize agriculture in general, and also rice and strategic commodities, other strategic commodities in particular. Prioritizing means making it higher on the policy agenda for the government. It means mobilizing investment finance to support production along the value chain of crops such as rice. The example of rice is very fascinating because Africa imports huge. At the moment, if you take the total figure of African imports, it is about 40 up to 50% of the total consumption requirements are met through imports. And this actually requires Africa to pay every year between 5 and 6 billion US dollars. And these are dollars which should be used for other purposes. And we don't have in Africa a lot of hard currencies. There is a lot of fiscal pressure. The foreign currencies that have been mobilized, that have been generated, should have been used to import capital equipment for investment for us to be able to produce, not to import crops such as rice, which we can easily produce. So the first is to prioritize these strategic commodities and to have a clear direction of what needs to be taken to achieve Africa self-sufficiency in rice. This is a priority. When you prioritize, it means you put in place the necessary enabling environment, including policy incentives for the private sector. It is not the government that is going out to the field to grow rice or crops or to rear animals. It is the farmers. It is the private sector. And for it to be sustainable in the future, it must be profitable. If it is not profitable, it will not be possible to sustain increased production and also to attract the youth into employment and women into employment. It must be profitable. It must be also attractive. And that's why we are focusing on, including even in rice, value chain development. It's not only growing rice. You have to produce it in a quality that is competing with the imported price, the quality of the milled rice. It's not the paddy I'm talking. It's the quality of the milled rice, and it means there needs to be processing, and the processing involves investment, entrepreneurship, because these are businesses. If you take the price of rice and compare it with the farm gate price, meaning what the farmers get, there is huge gap, and much of it is taken up by middle people, by speculators. If we talk about value chain development and enhance entrepreneurship in the agribusiness area, in agro-processing area, that is where there is a lot of opportunity to create jobs, which are attractive jobs, which are remunerative jobs for the youth. The youth cannot go to field, to do the same kind of agriculture like their parents, because they have seen it. It's not. So it is important for governments to prioritize strategic crops, agriculture in general, to support the development of value chain, to enhance investment by the private sector, to help farmers organize themselves to do their job better, and to link them with markets.